is incredible. Its size is vast, it is complex, and it has a lot of opportunities for these anglers who are trying to make the top 50 at the end of the day. Pretty soon it'll be time for them to do this. Just beat feet, get out of here, get back to Okeechobe City for the weigh-in. We're so happy you're with us here. We're into our last hour of Bassmaster Live here at 3 o'clock right here on Bassmaster.com. We begin the weigh-in, but right now let's get you all caught up on everything that's gone down during the course of this day as we take a look at our Toyota midday report.
Yeah, Tommy, a couple things have happened today. First off, with Stetson Blaylock, he was the only guy not fishing in a canal this morning of our top 10. And Cody Meyer down south, Trey McKinney to the west, our 3 leaders up north. Fishing ultra shallow water using a spinnerbait early when that was still somewhat low light, even though we lost an hour and a half of our morning to a fog delay. Then Stetson started flipping reeds, really shallow water, got stuck a few times with his boat. But these fish will continuously stay shallow until they realize I don't have enough water above my head before they start to move out. And with this water slightly falling each week, these fish are living there, kind of renting that space because they're going to have to move out soon if it keeps falling.
Absolutely. Stetson Blaylock had a 20-pound, 12-ounce limit after day number 1, and he's up to, well, as you can see, 26 pounds and 12 ounces. So it's been pretty slow and small, the catch for him today. Also starting the day in our top 10, Cody Meyer, first-year Bassmaster Elite Series member, but far too overqualified to be a legal rookie here. He's just done so well in other circuits throughout his career. He's a very well-traveled pro angler. Took off for the Southland when he left there, and as far as I know, he's remained there all day long. Hasn't had any giants come up today. 20 pounds and 3 ounces on day number 1. And right now, he's got about the same amount put in the boat today as Stetson Blaylock.
He is the only reason that we've got to see both ends of Lake Okeechobee. We have so many people as far north as you can go, and he is as far south as you can go down there in the South Bay region. But Cody Meyer, so excited. I mean, it's very cool to see a guy who's been out here for 10, 15, almost 20 years professionally, enduring something like the Opens to go make a change in his life as drastic as fishing leagues and now fishing with Bassmaster, but having the excitement like it is honestly his first year fishing professionally because it's a new fresh wind for his career.
Just missed the cut down at up at St. John's last week by one point, 51st place. Will Davis Jr., what an impact he has had in his short 3 years. Actually less than 3 years on the Bassmaster Elite Series. He has really caught him everywhere. Man who owns 2 Bass Nation National Championships and also an Elite Series Blue Trophy from Lake.
If you built a bass fisherman from scratch, Tommy, you probably have some ingredients of Will Davis. Grew up in a fishing family, one that's been in the bait industry forever. Went to one of the most prestigious college fishing programs, Bethel University. Grew up and fishes on the Coosa River, which has formed so many great fishermen over the years, and has gone through every level of competition through the grassroots nation. He's thrived on the Opens as well, and now doing well in the Elite Series. Will Davis, he's seen it all and done it all, and he's done it at a high level.
Had a double doctorate before he even got here, so you could say that. Trey McKinney, what an incredible season as Rookie of the Year he had in 2024. Had a tough start up at the St. Johns River, but a great day yesterday.
I'll say he's so much older and wiser than he was last year, Tommy. He's 1 year older, but he has learned quite a bit about what he should do as a professional. There was a chance, talking to him on the phone, he said, I'm going to go fish a community hole tomorrow morning because I'm boat 1, because yesterday I was the last boat and I could not go do it. That community hole he referenced is where Brandon Polinick, Will Davis, and Tim Doobie and Greg DePalma were. It would have made for a tough situation this morning, probably a confrontation or 2. But when we saw him leave the dock, he took a left, Tommy, and went to his game plan, and he has made the lake work for him. Better than anyone else in the lake, it seems, out of our top 10. Even though it's only 12 pounds or so today, he definitely has held his own and not fallen off the pace.
We've not seen anyone do that yet.
Yes.
He's the sole owner of
only
a
one
two-day
fish
record like that. Yeah.
Only 1 fish from his canal.
Yeah.
If that fires up tomorrow, he's back in business.
Absolutely. 21 pounds yesterday and currently hanging in there inside the top 5 and 4th place. Greg DePalma 7th year out here with the Bassmaster Elite Series. The angler from New Jersey, for the first time ever, he found himself this morning with the lead in the tournament. At a very special place mapped out here, and some special company along with him. We'll get into that.
And with the biggest bag, and the biggest bag of his life was caught yesterday. He was leading the event from New Jersey. Yeah, he's got a great situation going. He's feeling really good about it. He was really reaching for that dirty 30, as they say. He was just under it, but today he's got 4 fish. You know, started a little slow, but with a 5-pounder. But then he got a 2.5 or 2.15 to 3 and a 1 and a 1 1/4. So he's working his way, he's chipping his way up there, and he's doing great. He's in a great spot.
I like what Kyle said. He has been able to carve out a limit. He took 1 fish from his main spot, been able to catch fish other ways. And if he could survive today and still mix in that other spot, which he has full rights to, GDP's not out of this tournament.
No. That's a good omen that he's able to do that. And Peter, the man of the hour, there he is right there.
Brandon Palnick, he's doing his thing. You know, we've seen him do a lot of different things, and he stuck it out. Everybody else left, and he said, you know what, I know the fish are here. I'm marking them all. They're just not eating. They're not competing for the bait. And he waited. Everyone left, and all of a sudden, it's a 9.5-pounder. A 9.5-pounder. I've never seen that before. And then he catches a 7+ pounder back to back to back. I mean, his wells are brimming with giant bass right now, to the point where he doesn't. They're just belly to belly, just going, hey, where are you from?
One thing for Brandon Palnick that's really key, we talked to Will Davis, his top lures, nothing but slow dragging baits. Drop shots, shaky heads, football wobble heads. Brandon Palnick, nothing but treble hooks. Caught one on a jerkbait this morning, the Katana. Caught one on a prototype, looked like more of like a 6 to 10 foot diver, and then he caught a couple of these big ones on the big M. And so for Brandon, he's catching them all on moving, aggressive baits. These are aggressive action baits. You either need to slow down and get more finesse when they're pressured, or go the opposite, and Palnick's gone the opposite.
He did take the different end of the spectrum there, and man, oh man, what a result. It was just incredible to sit and watch this. You couldn't believe this was actually unfolding before our eyes.
And then he becomes a tackle shop, and he says, you know, guys, here, you take one, you take one, I'm going to take a
Shares
timeout.
the baits
You
with the
talk
two
about
guys.
camaraderie. I've never seen anything quite like this.
Good stuff.
There she is. Another John. Come on. Oh, she might be 8. Oh my gosh. Right now.
The bass is perfection.
What is happening?
Not a mark on it.
Look at that. I mean, that's not as good of a pull as the other one, but.
He said, I've never had a day like this. Understandably, Brandon Palnick on top. Huge lead over Greg DePalma. Got about 30 pounds on 10th place. It's just off the charts. What a day.
He started the day with that first keeper, Tommy, and said, well, at least I'm fishing tomorrow now, and that's my whole goal, was to make it to tomorrow, as if they weren't going to catch. And he stuck it out, and he's not only fishing tomorrow, he's going to be in the driver's seat by more than he ever thought he probably would be when he started the day.
So mentally, he was there. With that 4-pound fish, he's like, I've already got it. Take a deep breath, and let me just try to focus. And that's why he stayed, and he continued to rack and stack.
Do you go flee to the lake, Tommy, where you had a terrible practice and you're not really sure and not confident, or you just stay where you know fish are and wait them out? And he waited them out.
Hard to believe. Just before noon today, we were wondering if anybody's going to catch much of anything in that place. Now the day can turn around. Let's get back out to Will Davis.
And then he caught him right between the chase boat, the camera boat, in between the reeds and the chase. He's ripping it through, banging it off the side of the fiberglass.
Unbelievable.
That's when you stay. When you can catch fish like that, you got to stay. I see that body posture. Good fish.
A little better. A little bit better. Probably 14.
Nothing wrong with that.
Sir,
Let's go.
let's go, baby.
That's his second biggest of the day.
There's a pile of them sitting there, too. They are.
Let's back out to Stetson
Dude, I'm
Blaylock.
telling you, I'm about to catch a big one in here. Too many bass. Do you see this? Some of these right here on this tree are 2-pounders. Dude, they're everywhere. That's a better one too.
You see a great blue heron flew over it. That's a nice fish.
This
That was
is
my fish.
incredible.
He's gonna have to coal quick and
Popping
get back in
frog, they
there.
are smoking it.
We'll be back to that scene, I can guarantee you. Stetson Blaylock has located some active feeders.
It's a 2-pounder.
He does have a 1.6 and a 1.10 that he could call if that is a 2-pounder, huh?
Some days your first 5, Tommy, first 5 bites of the day are the ones you bring to weigh-in, and they're more than sufficient. And some days you're like Trey McKinney today, where you got to catch 13, 14, and cull up ounces each time just to get a decent bag.
Yeah.
And it's the same lake, conditions basically the same. That's why fishing is so unique as a sport. Is you didn't walk into the gym today and they flipped the goal upside down, Peter, and you're shooting differently. No, it's the same game for everybody else most times. Fishing is just the fish just change. They have their own little brains.
It's a different ballpark every day.
Didn't know there's going to be geometry on this test.
Yeah,
I was trying to picture this
told it
goal
wouldn't be
upside
math.
down. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't think there was going to be any
It's
math.
hanging from the rafters. That's what it is. It's hanging from the rafters.
Oh.
Yeah. So you
Is it
have
on
to
block
shoot
and
it really-
tackle? Did they bring it up with
Tired
block
of
and tackle?
14. I think all of them. 114, 114, 114. 114.
Oh boy, garlic.
We about gotta go, so.
Remember, he's first boat in. Polnick is in the second flight, and then the other, De Palma, Doobie are in the third flight.
Interesting note
With
right
Will
there.
Davis.
He just bit the tip of that soft plastic off after he garlicked it. He's a fan.
Yeah.
He and the bass, they're feeding as one.
Good chef always tastes his food.
That's right.
There you
Dip a finger in it and
Where he
take a
serves it
little-
up.
Exactly. I think we've all had worse than that, though, than garlic spray. I once had to prime my fuel pump in my old vintage car, and I had to actually work on the fuel line, and I got gasoline in my mouth. So I think garlic would be better.
No, way preferable.
Oh, for sure. You still lick batteries for fun, get a little juicy, shock.
And 9 volts, not the
Yeah.
car batteries.
No, not car batteries.
Yeah.
You're having fun in Florida on this day. What an incredible day 2 of this tournament. Second stop of the year for the Progressive Bassmaster Elite Series. We got Brandon Polnick with a monster day. Greg De Palma, who had a monster day, not quite to that extent though, yesterday. Hanging in there in second. Bo Browning coming up from deep down in the field to take up third.
The greatest adventure is what lies ahead. When the water calls, we have decisions to make. Figure out what works and what doesn't.